What's the crack, and welcome back to the channel. This video is for dads who want more time and freedom to spend with their kids. Let me be clear here, time and freedom are the goals. If you're here looking for a side hustle that's gonna get you the Lambo or the Rolex, then jog on, because this video and this channel is not for you.
A wise man once said,
The only thing that watch is gonna tell you is how much precious time you're missing with your kids. And guess what? When you're old and grey, you're gonna spend every penny you have to come back right here to this moment. To be as young and healthy as you are now, and when your kids are at that amazing age where they seem to be hitting a different milestone every day. The time is now, and your goal should be to get as much of that time back as possible. Oh, and this video is only for dads because I have no idea what it's like to be a mom. So I'm gonna start off by sharing my own freedom chasing journey. Then I'm gonna show you how Airbnb is the best side hustle for fun, freedom, and flexibility. And if you've no idea how to run an Airbnb, then relax. I'm gonna show you everything you need to do and how to set it up properly to get that maximum freedom. So first up, let me share a bit of my journey with you. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Dave. I class myself as a stay-at-home dad, but I run over 75 Airbnb properties, welcoming over 15,000 guests per year. I've built a multi-award winning Airbnb business, and now I have an amazing team who runs it all for me. I'm incredibly grateful to only work a few hours per week, but it wasn't always like that. I often reminisce back to when I started, those simpler days. I was making £70,000 per year from Airbnb while also in a full-time job. Now, the 70k I was earning from Airbnb was a lot more than I was earning from my full-time job. So quite rightly, I quit. Now, what happened next is what I describe as the entrepreneur's trap. I didn't appreciate the lifestyle and the time that I had, and so I just decided to chase more money instead. I had no kids at that time, I had nothing else to do. I worked my ass off to grow my Airbnb portfolio, but at the same time, I gave away all my time for that money. Then my two boys came along and it hit me like a steam train what was really important. I just didn't want to miss a single second with them. I wanted to see every milestone, see their first words, their first steps, all of that sort of cool, warm, fuzzy stuff. So completely overworked and burning out, I spent the next 5 years paying back all of that money that I was earning to get more time. Now that's a video for another day, but the moral of the story is I realized just how important time is with our kids. And if you're still watching, then so do you. So here's 6 reasons why Airbnb is the best side hustle for dads. Number 1, it's flexible working hours. This isn't a 9 to 5 job where you have to like clock in and clock out. You can manage this on the hop as you go throughout your day. You can be going back and forward and just getting stuff done. There's no set hours of when you need to run it. And I'm actually gonna show you how you can run it in less than 10 hours per week. Number 2, and what I see in a lot of side hustles, this is not a service-based business. You're not in that trap of exchanging your time for money. And that is a trap, because if you're not working, you're not earning. It's a proper business where you're selling a product, effectively overnight accommodation in a property. And when you're selling a product and you're not exchanging your time for money, that's when you can get the nirvana. You can earn money while you're asleep. Not that any of us dads of young kids get much sleep, but you can do whatever you want while the business is making money. Number 4, when it's set up and systemized correctly, there's an opportunity for completely passive income. And we're going to talk about that in a second, about how to systemize and operationalize the business so that it runs without you. Number 5, because this can be systemized, you can run this business from anywhere in the world. And number 6, it's easy to run your Airbnb around any full-time work that you've got. Remember, I had 2 Airbnbs and I was working full-time. So if you're still watching and you have no idea how to run an Airbnb, I can basically boil it down into 3 things. Number 1 is you gotta handle bookings and communication between guests. So your property is on Airbnb and the other booking sites. Bookings come in, you have to deal with those bookings, speak to guests, arrange how they're gonna come in, accept their bookings or their inquiries. There's a bit of back and forth there. This is the customer service aspect of it. Number 2, you're gonna have to manage your rates and availability. So on Airbnb, you get a calendar of your availability for your property. You have to adjust your prices up in periods of high demand, low in periods of low demand, and just make sure you don't get any double bookings. There's a bit of work involved in this. And number 3 is the cleaning and maintenance. So obviously after a guest leaves your Airbnb, it needs cleaned and made ready for the next set of guests. With regards to maintenance, stuff gets broken from time to time and you need someone to go and fix it. Simple. Now that is it in a nutshell, but any Airbnb host watching this, I know are gonna be screaming at the screen, it's not that easy. But when you boil it down, it actually is that straightforward. But the crucial thing is there's lots of tech, outsourcing and productivity systems that are going to help you streamline this operation to take 10 hours or under per week. So first up, automation tools. And the big one here is to have a channel manager like Guesty, Hostaway, Hostfully, Vivo. They're all pretty much the same thing. But what they do is you connect up your property, they link it up to all the different booking sites, and they make sure that you're not going to get any double bookings. It's a massive time saver, but also a massive increase in your ability to get bookings into your property. Next up, pricing optimization. Systems like Price Labs, Beyond Pricing, Wheelhouse, all exist to automatically adjust your rates due to the demand in your area. It's not necessarily a set and forget, but it absolutely saves you tons of time in adjusting your rates. It does it automatically, and it's going to do it better than you can. And thirdly, you can automate quite a lot of your guest communication. Confirmation emails and messaging about checking in, checking out, frequently asked questions, all this stuff can be set up to be sent automatically on your behalf. It's saving you tons of time. So we've just talked about some tech that's going to help save you so much time with your side hustle. Now we're going to talk about systems and people. Cleaning the property is the biggest time drain and the biggest thing that's going to hold you back from this side hustle succeeding. If you want to get into Airbnb, you do not want to be cleaning the property yourself. But luckily for you, there's tons and tons and tons of cleaners out there who are looking for good work from an Airbnb. You need to find a reliable cleaning agency or a set of cleaners who are going to be your eyes and ears and are going to go in once a guest leaves, get the place ready, and just have everything sitting ready for you. Now, the same thing goes with maintenance issues. Things do go wrong in Airbnbs, guests break things, so it's important that you have a bank of people, of some property maintenance people who are going to be able to come in and fix things whenever they go. You don't want it to be you. And lastly, you can go to the gold standard of outsourcing and just outsource everything. There are businesses that exist, because mine is one of them, that will take on your property and will do everything. Listing optimization, booking management, rate pricing, deal with the guests, organize the cleaners, organize the maintenance, absolutely everything. Now, there is a cost for that, but if you want absolute freedom from this side hustle, then that is an option. Now, if you've got to this point and you're sitting wondering, Dave, that's really good, but how do I even get a property? I can't afford one. Well, there are other options. Option one obviously is going to be best if you can buy a property. It's the most expensive, but it's the easiest way to do it. You don't have to worry about anyone else. You have full control over that property. But there are other options. Option two is what in the UK we call rent to SA. In the US and around the world you call Airbnb arbitrage. And that's where you find a property owner who has a property to rent. You rent it, you take it on, you probably do it up a little bit, and then you put it on Airbnb. So you're paying them a guaranteed rent, and the profit that's left after you've ran it with all your guests and everything else, you keep as your profit. There is some upfront fees in this, and it's a guaranteed rent to that owner, and also you're going to probably have to spend a bit of money uplifting the property to make it ready for Airbnb guests. And the third option, remember I was talking about that property management service? So in the UK, we call this Serviced Accommodation Management. In the US, I think you call it co-hosting. And that is where you basically approach a property owner and say, look, you want a wee side hustle on Airbnb? Why don't you give it to me? I'll take a commission, I'll do everything for you. There's no upfront costs, and then you pay out after your commission and all the other running costs to that client. And that's how I've built our portfolio of over 75 properties. I don't own them all, but we have a very lean operation where clients bring their properties to us and we take it on, put it in our portfolio and run it as if it's our own. It's a very lean model and a way to get a few properties under your belt with no upfront cost. I don't know of any other side hustle that offers the fun, freedom and flexibility that Airbnb does. 10 hours a week, no set hours, not exchanging your time for money, ability to work anywhere. You can fit it around a full-time job, but it gives you the freedom to play and spend time with your kids. Now, if you're serious about getting started, watch this video. It's going to show you the 5 mistakes that most new Airbnb hosts make. Don't you make them. See you next time.